Hi there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the moon garden, and it's that time to strip it all away. It is fall and we are ready to transition into winter here as best as we can. We grow on the Oregon coast in a zone 9A, so we don't get true winters here. We might get an ice storm late in the winter season, but we don't get blankets of snow. So the way that we create winter in our cycles and in our systems and in our garden is by creating empty spaces. In no time at all, this lilac will defoliate and she'll be completely barren by the end of October. The rest of the garden all has potential perennials that would winter over if I wanted them to, but most of them I'm going to say goodbye for the season. And other things are just annuals that can just get stripped down. I start slowly removing my annuals and different perennials that just need to be cut back or dug out this time of year, and just take it room by room, garden room by garden room, and take care of those things as I see fit. This year, the moon garden is really the first one that's gonna get completely get a complete blank slate. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'll show you what we're looking at right now. And then I'm just going to set up the camera, remove all the decor and the flowers, and we'll I'll just let you see me working, and then we'll reconvene and talk about what happened. We had a pretty successful year in the moon garden this year. In our raised beds, we had snapdragons and pincushion flowers. We have both black and white ones. We have one last black pincushion flower hanging on here. The rest of them are just gone to seed or just aren't gonna bloom again. We do have a couple of snapdragons. I'll probably just cut those and put them in a vase. And the rest of this, all of this is just gonna get pulled out. Both the snapdragons and the pincushion flowers would overwinter and rebloom next year, but I want a completely different look for these raised beds next year, so we're just gonna remove them. And this lovey-dovey has just kind of been looking like this for a couple of weeks and just slowly getting more and more tired. So I think we're just gonna take that out of there today. I've been waiting forever for this sunflower to open, and it's just taking its sweet time. We do have like 3 more days of good weather, so maybe I'll just leave it open or leave it and see what happens. But I do want to remove the Mini Vista white from here. It's just looking super tired, and everything in that pot's gonna go. These 2 containers, I'm going to actually transplant the begonias and the Diachondra falls out and overwinter them in my greenhouse. But for today, I might just take them into the greenhouse as is. Same with this container right here. They'll winter over, but they might not do that great. The Diachondra falls especially sometimes will rot out at the crown because we get so much rain. So I do want to save those for next year. So maybe we'll get to those today, maybe we won't. But for sure, I'm going to take out everything in this bed and the tired plants in these containers. And then take down all of the decor. So we've got the moon signs there, we've got wind chimes here, and more wind chimes over here. That's like moon wind chimes. And then everything else will actually overwinter. The Sperwalla will overwinter. When it's done flowering, I'll cut it back and mulch it. The geraniums overwinter, so everything like that is fine. I just wanted to do a little cleanup, especially these beds, because this window is where I do my morning sacred start, and I'm essentially just looking at this messy bed every morning, and it doesn't feel that beautiful and sacred. So it's time to make some motions here. How gorgeous did these end up, though? This is why I'm just going to put them in my greenhouse and keep them alive for as long as I possibly can. think I'll go pop these in some water.
That actually looks really nice. It looks really nice. Just a little...
Well, that's a root ball and a half. All right, all stripped down. I will show you what I got done and what I'm planning on doing next, why I'm waiting to do the rest of it. So we've got this section all put away. I moved my hanging baskets up somewhere else so that they can winter over. And that pot is completely empty. I will put a layer of bark mulch over it just to prevent it from any weeds over the winter. Suppose I could pick up my tags that discarded annuals. Put away the decorations. I did not cut back my hostas yet. They're still kind of looking okay, and I want them to photosynthesize so they get bigger next year. I haven't moved these. This container is like screwed into the fence, so I have to dig them out. So I want to, I'll do that on a different day, but I actually have a different project that I want to do after I disassemble everything. I'll show you what I want to do for the winter, but for now, this is what we got done. We also took out the Mini Vista Mini Vista whites in this container and just left the Impatiens, which will hang out over winter. It'll bloom for a good long time still. So this is my first year growing these Impatiens. This is a Proven Winners variety. So I don't have experience with those yet, but all my other Impatiens bloom all through the winter. Though maybe not as prolifically as the summertime. So it'll be interesting to see what these do because they are so much bigger than any Impatient I've ever grown. I went ahead and left this one sunflower. I took out the other ones. One was dead. One was okay, and I put it in a little flower arrangement. And I'm just gonna see what happens. See if that'll open up in the next couple of days or not. Just so we can enjoy it. It's been growing for, a couple months. It should have a chance to show off her beautiful face. Took out the lovey-dovey petunias in there. Need to do a little cleanup of the pot, but the whole plant came right out with all the soil. Completely emptied the pot. Definitely had some root binding going on there. Still left up the clematis until it dies back naturally, and then I'll cut it down into the ground, which are these little viney leaves, but you can see they're on their way out. Stripped this container out and left this snapdragon as well as this snapdragon, and I'm going to transplant these into another part of the garden. And let them winter over and see if I could get blooms out of them next year. But I need to prep that space. So I'm going to leave them in here where they're all nice and snug and happy for the moment. But we'll take them out pretty soon. And then I just didn't have the heart to pull all this native viola that naturalized. Somehow the seeds got up in here and they're so pretty with these little heart-shaped leaves. And this is like my favorite color palette in a plant, like dark purple and black almost and green. It's just fine. She could live there for the winter. Anyway. And then the rest of the garden I just left as is. I'm still waiting for this Pearly Everlasting, these little white flowers right here, to fully go to seed and drop their seeds so that we have a continuous plant coming back every year. So I let a few go to seed every year. Cut down most of them quite a while ago, and I didn't really touch anything up there other than deadheaded a couple things. When you just take the tasks 1 or 2 little things at a time, it stops being super overwhelming. You know, I don't have to do every last bit of it all in one fell swoop. I could just do some of the things that are absolutely necessary right now and take care of the rest on another day or another week for that matter. Because it just makes gardening that much more enjoyable when you just allow yourself the ease of the transition rather than making every moment a hustle. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a wonderful moon day, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, keep celebrating your life. Bye.